Hello and welcome to Tuesday Talks. This is going to be my new format. I'm going to do these little YouTube videos and then share them so people can just go to the link. It's a little bit easier for me than doing a live that most people were watching the videos later anyway. So I'm going to do this. So hopefully it's helpful. Today I am talking about not letting the scale ruin your life. Anybody relate to watching those little numbers go up and down and letting it control your emotions and whether or not you feel like you're being successful with your weight loss journey or your health journey, and that one little machine having so much control over your emotional well-being, your mental state, and then essentially being probably one of the biggest things that sabotages most women is that dumb scale. I hate to call it dumb because you can use it as a tool to help you see progress that's going on. But when you're just relying on that and it's not showing you the exact number that you want, I see so many women, I can't even tell you how many women throw in the towel because the scale number is not doing what they want it to do. So let's first talk about just a brief, very brief thing of what scale fluctuations can look like and normal day to day, okay? We are not robots. We are human beings. We have muscles, we have organs, we have blood, we have water retention, we have glycogen, we have hormones, we have so many different things that are happening in our body. See ya, bud? That are going to affect the scale in a way that is not actually representing that you are losing fat or gaining fat, okay? So there's so many different things that are going to change that number that shouldn't be the thing that tells you you might as well give up because the scale is going up. Okay, so try to remember that. It could depend on what you eat. What does that consist of? Were there more carbs in that meal? Well, there's pumping more glycogen and water retention into your muscles because there were more carbs. Was there more sodium? What time in your cycle are you at? Did you sleep well the night before? There's just so many things, you guys, that can make the scale go up or down. So you really cannot just rely on that. If you are going to just rely on that, you cannot look at it every single day as an indicator of success. You have to look at trends overall. So it might be important to weigh yourself every day if you can do so while being mentally healthy. But you have to learn to look at the overall trend of what's going on and not, because weight loss is not linear. Weight loss is going to look like this. So it's generally going down, it's trending down, but it's going to have little ups and downs along the way. And I'm actually, for myself, and I'll share more about this on my Instagram posts and stuff like that and in my Facebook group, but I started a cut for myself. So a weight loss phase is basically what a cut is, about a week ago. And I'm going to be sharing my weight and what it's doing. And right now it's going like this, up and down. And how if I just was triggered every single time the scale went up, I would never get anywhere because I would give up and I would say, oh, forget it. I'm not getting anywhere. So you have to have other ways to measure progress in your journey so that it helps you stay motivated. You know things are changing, but you're not just relying on the scale. So let's talk about a couple things that you can look at to see if you are making progress. So I think a huge thing would be to look at strength. Are you getting stronger? Are your lifts getting easier? Are you able to do more reps? Are you able to pick up heavier weight? And this is also one of the reasons why you should be tracking your workouts and your lifts and not doing random willy-nilly workouts that have no rhyme or reason. You should be doing progressive overload with certain workouts every week and then tracking that somehow, whether that's being old school and writing it down like me in a notebook, or being cool and going on my app that I put my clients on where they track in the app and they can see, oh, last week I was only able to do 11 reps. This week I was able to do 12. Next week I'll be able to pick up a heavier weight. They're getting stronger. They're building muscle, which, by the way, if you are gaining muscle, muscle has to weigh something. So it's going to cause you, yes, to gain some weight. But if you are doing it the right way, you are going to be going through body recomposition, which means you're losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. So the scale may not move a lot, but your body could look completely different. You could be 130 pounds, and literally look like you weigh 20 pounds less after body recomposition, because muscle is very flat and lean on your body and fat is not. It takes up a lot of space. So that's a huge indicator if you're getting stronger, if you're feeling progress that way. That's a great indicator that you're being successful in your journey. Another thing is, are your habits getting better? Like, do you notice that you just naturally tend to walk more during the day? You're getting, increasing your steps by 1,000 or 2,000 steps every day. When you're tracking your steps and you're averaging per week, is your average going up? Are you noticing yourself just out of habit moving your body more? Because you're learning that we are just naturally a very sedentary culture and we just need to be moving our bodies more to help with fat loss. So that's a huge indicator. Just, is your lifestyle changing, where you're just noticing, I just in general need to move more and sit less, and looking for opportunities that way. Or even if your lifestyle is changing in the way of, like, when you go out to eat, you naturally are starting to notice, you understand macros better, and you're just ordering differently because you know something is a little higher in protein, or will be a little less fat, or will be more satiating and more of a meal and leave you fuller for less calories. So if you're being able to start making those choices for your lifestyle, those are habits that stick, right? That's going to make your weight loss journey last, because your lifestyle is changing and your habits are changing. So even if the scale is not dropping super fast or dropping like you want it to, and your lifestyle is changing, it means that eventually when you get your body to the place that you want it, it's going to stay that way because your habits are changing and your lifestyle is changing. So that's a huge progress indicator right there, is just seeing, am I, kind of another huge thing, going to interrupt myself, as far as lifestyle and habits, are you learning how to not self-sabotage anymore? Are you learning how to get away from that all or nothing mindset of like, oh, well, I ate one meal out and I was terrible and I chose to have that slice of cheesecake, so forget it. The rest of the weekend, I'm just going to binge or just whatever, right? Or are you in the mindset now and learning how to be in that mindset of, yeah, I had the piece of cheesecake. I really wanted it. Probably wasn't the greatest choice, but oh well, I'm going to move on because that doesn't make or break my progress. So tomorrow I'm going to get right back on track. So are you back doing that again? So that's a huge, huge indicator, is getting out of that, because that's where so many women that I talk to fall into this trap of like, oh, I couldn't work out 5 days a week, so I just figured I wouldn't do it at all. And they just kind of throw everything to the wind, where they're just like, either I'm on track every day, all the time, or I'm not doing anything. And there's got to be a middle ground, because life is busy, life is chaotic. We all have jobs and kids and sicknesses and stress and all these outer factors that, can really just affect what we're doing. And we have to learn that it's not about perfectionism, it's about consistency. And then I think the other really important thing too is going back to kind of the body recomposition, is understanding how that works, and that your body can be changing shape and the form and how much fat you have versus muscle without actually losing any weight whatsoever. And that's a really important concept to understand. I have seen different trainers that have shown on Instagram and influencers, and they'll show their like 5-year transformation, and they'll show themselves literally like the before and then the after, and the after picture, they actually weigh more than they did. And the after picture, their body is completely different. It's smaller, it's lean, it's muscular, and they actually weigh more because they have so much more muscle, but the muscle just leaned them out. And so it's crazy. So we can't just be locked into the scale all the time. And then the other thing is, as part of body recomposition, is noticing, are my clothes fitting different, right? I mean, I have a lot of clients that are like, the scale hasn't moved at all, but man, my pants are loose. My clothes are fitting different. My body's feeling different. People are noticing that my body looks different, but I keep telling them I haven't lost any weight. Well, that's because you probably have lost the fat, but you've gained muscle at the same time. So they overrode each other on the scale, but you're looking better, you're feeling better, you have more energy. You're losing fat. You're just not seeing that number on the scale because you're replacing it with muscle. Who doesn't want to do that? I want to do that. I'm still trying to do that. So it's just important. And I know it's hard. The scale can really be a mental battle. And some days it's easier than others, right? I know that there's even times with me, even though I have all this education and I know all of this, there's sometimes when I get into this mindset, or it's like the time before my cycle and my brain is just mixed with emotions and it's telling me, no, this scale is telling you the truth. You're so fat, or you've gained so much weight. So it just takes practice. You just have to constantly keep working through this narrative in your head and keep telling yourself each time, this scale does not tell the whole story at all. And I need to open up my mind and look at all these other things and come back to reality that there are so many other factors to this health and fitness journey than just a number that a scale says. So hopefully you can remember that, and hopefully you can lock in, because I really do feel like it's going to help you get out of that all or nothing mindset and not feel like the second you see that number on the scale go up, you're just throwing it all away because you're like, forget it, it's not working. When there's a lot of things that could be working really, really well and you're on the right path. And if you would just continue that way, you would start seeing some incredible changes in your body. So don't give up. Don't let the scale rule your emotions and rule your mental stability, and make sure that you're having a good program, that you maybe need a coach that is telling you that. That's one of the main things that a coach can do, is motivate you and remind you of those things along your journey so that you don't get stuck. I know that I definitely had a period in my life where I needed a coach that was reminding me of those things, and I was able to text him and he would talk me through it and be like, oh yeah, I just needed that extra voice to remind me of these things until I got good at doing it on my own. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to chat with you about any questions you have, and hopefully that was helpful. I'll see you next Tuesday.